The night Alice decided to divorce, she left her wedding ring and the divorce papers. She cut up the only photo of her and her husband, Benjamin. Then she boarded a plane to go abroad and completely left Benjamin behind. Meanwhile, Benjamin was still at the hospital with his beloved Jessica. It wasn't until he got home that night that the moment he saw the divorce papers, he finally realized Alice had left. So Benjamin desperately dialed Alice's phone number, but all it showed was no answer. At that moment, he thought of his memories with Alice, and tears of regret instantly fell. Little did he know that he had brought all this upon himself. It turned out that 3 years ago, Jessica ran over and killed Alice's mother, Alice's fiancé at the time, Anthony. Not only did he not blame Jessica, he even pulled out a marriage certificate with Jessica. Just when Alice was in despair, Benjamin suddenly proposed to her and said he would send Jessica to prison. That's how Alice and Benjamin ended up together, and with Benjamin's help, Jessica was locked up in prison for 3 years. Until 3 days ago, Alice accidentally found out that Benjamin was madly in love with Jessica. In order to write a letter of forgiveness for Jessica, he went so far as to marry Alice. Only then did Alice realize that Jessica was never locked up in prison, but was living freely abroad, and all of this was Benjamin's doing. Alice completely saw through Benjamin. She swore to give her dead mother an explanation. That night when Benjamin came home, he continued to play the role of a good husband. But at that moment, Alice only felt disgusted. Benjamin said Jessica was about to be released. In recent years, his company and Jessica's family's company had quite a lot of business together. Before Benjamin could finish speaking, Alice reassured him that she wouldn't go looking for Jessica. Benjamin thanked Alice for her understanding. Then he went out to take a phone call. Alice took advantage of this time and quickly opened Benjamin's computer. Alice discovered that Benjamin's computer password was Jessica's birthday, and the computer was full of Jessica's photos. He even transferred $1 million to Jessica every month, and had done so for 3 whole years. Seeing all this, Alice immediately told her assistant to book her a plane ticket for 3 days later and to cancel all her personal information. She planned to completely leave Benjamin in 3 days. The next day, Alice went to the police station and told the police that the letter of forgiveness Benjamin wrote 3 years ago was never approved by her. So she wanted to hold Jessica accountable, but the police said that as Alice's family member, Benjamin, his letter of forgiveness also had legal validity. Alice asked the police to print her a copy of Benjamin's letter of forgiveness. Then Alice took the letter and went to find Benjamin, and happened to run into him with Jessica. Benjamin nervously said Jessica had just been released and came to catch up with him. Alice ignored Benjamin's explanation and said Jessica's appearance didn't look like someone who had just been released. With that, Alice turned and left. Benjamin quickly chased after her and urged her to let go of the grudges. Soon, Alice didn't expose them. Instead, she reassured Benjamin that she had already let go. Seeing this, Benjamin invited her to attend Jessica's welcome party and mentioned that Jessica's father cared about appearances and told others Jessica had gone abroad to study. Benjamin told Alice not to overthink it. Alice obediently nodded. Only then did Benjamin feel relieved enough to let her go. That night, as soon as Alice arrived at the banquet, she heard that Anthony gave Jessica 10 villas and that Benjamin was going to give half of his company's shares to Jessica as a gift. The crowd immediately started murmuring. Jessica walked up to Alice and provocatively said that thanks to Benjamin's help these past 3 years, she was able to live so comfortably abroad. Alice couldn't bear it anymore and slapped her right across the face. Seeing this, Anthony immediately scolded Alice and told her to leave right now. Benjamin also said that what happened back then was already over and advised Alice not to cause trouble anymore. Alice questioned them, asking if they shouldn't give her an explanation for what happened back then. Benjamin angrily said that Jessica had already been punished, and he even demanded that Alice apologize to Jessica immediately. Jessica urged Benjamin not to be angry and cunningly said that she really was sorry to Alice and that she would never see Benjamin again. Then she left with Anthony. Seeing this, Benjamin immediately panicked and ran after her. After Alice returned home alone, Benjamin sent her a message explaining he said everything earlier was just an act and told Alice not to be mad. Alice sneered and said that Benjamin had been acting in this play for 3 years and it was time to end it. Alice cut into pieces the only photo of her and Benjamin and placed the divorce papers on the table, waiting for Benjamin to come back and sign. But Alice waited the whole night, and Benjamin never came home, so she called Benjamin. Although Benjamin answered, he was at the hospital taking care of Jessica. When Alice heard Jessica's voice, she coldly hung up the phone and mailed Benjamin the letter of forgiveness. Then she resolutely boarded the plane abroad. After the secretary received the letter of forgiveness, he anxiously told Benjamin that Alice had already discovered the letter, and now he couldn't reach Alice at all. Hearing this from the secretary, Benjamin immediately panicked and drove home. But when he got home, he found there was no trace of Alice in the room. Only a divorce paper was left behind.